Annette, thank you very much. I've got to repeat your words. It's got to be hot, as you tell us, in terms of the weather, both inside and outside of that precinct in Cape Town. Well, let's get on with the business of the coffee chat here. And joining me this morning, good morning, Masakho.
Yours truly. Good morning, Xoli.
Nandi, where have you been?
Good morning. I've been doing the afternoon shift, so I have been around.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry.
Welcome, ladies.
Hello. Great to be here, Xoli.
Let's get on with the serious business of delivering news to the people of South Africa. And it's not good news, Masakho. No. I was just talking about the unemployment crisis, particularly among young people. The exact figure still stands at 55% for young people.
Exactly.
What in the world is going on in South Africa?
And Xoli, it's not getting any better. There's young people who ask themselves, why should I then go to school and study if I'm going to have a degree and sit here at home? I have so many friends who, for instance, studied to become accountants, but accounting firms have also cut jobs before, and they're sitting at home not doing anything, or they're taking up internships and, jobs that they really shouldn't be taking. And then you also look at young people who are in jobs that they shouldn't be at, but they are just grateful that they're at least among that small group that has a job, so they just stay there even though they actually feel that they deserve better. But also, Xoli, it also puts South Africa at risk of losing more people to job markets that are outside of the country or outside of the continent.
Nandi, I've got to tell you that yesterday the leader of SAFTU, Xoli, you'll remember him back in his old days in COSATU, he repeated his words that the unemployment crisis of young people is a ticking time bomb that is likely to lead to civil unrest.
Yeah.
Is it good enough that the president told us last year that 2 million jobs are going to be created over the next 10 years?
That's the problem.
Huh?
When you said it in the intro, that was my first thought. I was like, 10 years is a very long time from now. Between now and that 10 years, more job losses. The unemployment is going to skyrocket even further. I mean, if you look at now, Daimler have announced that 752 workers are going to be cut off. 752, bringing the total tally now of the retrenchments that they forecasted for 2020. Mind you, it's not even halfway through the year yet. They're sitting at 9,000. So this is how the trajectory of how things are going to go. In 10 years' time, he's going to need more than 2 million jobs. You see what I mean? So it's just that the 10-year goal is just a little far. What do people do now, sitting at home, feeling hopeless and getting increasingly frustrated?
And I hate to tell you, but the situation is not improving. If you look at the front page of the Business Day this morning, it says, end of an era as Anglo Gold exits South Africa. The third largest gold miner sells its last local mining assets to Harmony Gold for about 4.4 billion rand. Anglo has been part of the South African economic story for, I think, it's about 100 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Then you look at a headline next to that. It's on this section, it's on the right-hand side of my paper here. It says, Damelin owner to axe half of its workforce. It's just threats and yet more threats of job losses by companies.
And then there's Massmart.
There's
That's
Massmart.
Telkom.
There's Telkom.
South
There's SAA.
breweries.
There's South African breweries.
What does the president have to do today to inspire confidence for at least South Africans to believe in what he's saying?
Exactly. And I mean, people are despondent, Xoli. And for those of us who, for instance, have the jobs, we become shocked that, okay, it's at 29%, almost 30% for the entire country, 55% of the youth, and we read it with shock. But those who are sitting at home and are feeling the pinch of not having jobs are the ones who are looking at the president and all our leaders and saying, what are we going to do about this? And like Nandi said, it's not enough that you want to create 2 million jobs in 10 years. There's 55 million people in this country. And of course, that will also increase in the next 10 years. And just 2 million jobs is just not going to cut it.
Can we move on from the depressing news
From
of
the doom and gloom.
job losses? The next story you covered yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us about this famous painting. You know, we laugh about it, but The thieving in this country is just out of
Even
hand.
a painting.
A painting.
A
You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
I don't think
Don't tell me it
I
reminds
don't
you of
think
the
you were
shoes.
in this newsroom yet.
The shoes.
But some time ago, Humphrey Memezi, some of them will
Oh,
remember him.
Lord.
There was a story about a painting that was bought or whatever the story was, but it had to do with
Gifted.
there was a McDonald's and a painting.
Yeah.
And he came and said, for a painting. You're telling me that I need to be held accountable for a painting.
For a painting.
Look, we're not laughing, but the PNF is on the screen right now. Tell us about this story. What does it have to do with the Secretary General of the ANC?
Well, look, the PNF painting that is on the screens now is 8 million rand. That its worth is 8 million rand. It belongs to the state. So simply put, it was at the OR Tambo House in Bloemfontein in the Premier's office.
Right.
Now, if you're Premier, Xoli, when you vacate that position, you must leave the state's belongings in that office.
Right.
The next Premier will find it there.
Are
But
you
now it
insinuating-
disappeared.
What are you trying to say?
You're insinuating that
All I'm
Akashwini
saying,
took this
Took the
painting.
All I'm
He
saying
took the
is-
painting.
And no one saw him walk out. That's not a small painting.
painting, right? But here's what the Daily Maverick said when they broke the story back in 2018, is that security personnel said, no, it was a mistake. We did take the painting, but it was actually quite an honest mistake. We'll find it and we'll bring it
What are
back.
you doing?
Right?
How do you take painting?
How
Not
did
to
yours?
get off the wall. So, you know, the former premier and now the SG of the ANC, Ace Magashule, says he did nothing wrong. He says his hands are clean when it comes to that painting. But then again, you think it is a painting that was in your office and it disappeared during the time that you were supposed to vacate and go to Lutuli House. What happened in between then? You know, so, you know, it's... so now the driver is in trouble.
I can't stop laughing because, you know,
Can't make this
I
up.
looked at him yesterday when you got that comment.
The comment from him.
I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
did nothing wrong.
He says he did absolutely nothing wrong, and now we'll find out on the 4th of March what exactly his driver tells us.
Maseko, at least you made us laugh this
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Nandi,
glad.
What's happening in the sports pages?
On another, well, a good note, the Proteas, it feels like England have been here for a very long time now, but it is the T20 series that kicked off yesterday, and the Proteas won that one. So they won the first match. There's 2 more to go with the next one coming up in Durban tomorrow. So they won the one in East London. I mean, albeit it is just by 1 run, but we'll take anything we can
There's
get
a positive.
in terms of the Proteas.
There is another positive.
Exactly. So that's something
We're
good.
leading, aren't we?
We are leading, but I'm not trying to be, you know, the Debbie Downer, but let's just calm down a little bit because we've seen in the past with the Test series, we took the lead in the first match and then it all went downhill after that. With the ODI series, the same thing happened. We took the lead. The second match was washed out because of the rain, and then England ended up leveling the series. So let's just wait and see what happens tomorrow, and then maybe we can start getting excited. But so far, so good. Cautiously
We'll take
optimistic.
it. We'll take it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xoli.
You lifted our spirits this morning.
I'm glad.
So, Maseko, we'll let you go. Nandi, you in it for the long haul.
Yes, I am. I'll see you later.
We are going to be together. Still